picture. We're in the blue. Scotland playing in their change strip of white. Roddy Grant to the ready picture there with Richard Vernon. So the kickoff taken by Vernon, and well, you had a kind of a quiet game against New Zealand. And Scotland very much on the attack. This is Lee Jones. 2 tries from the man born in Selkirk, played for Selkirk. And 2 tries against New Zealand. Richie Vernon on that far outside. Sean Ward though back with the tackle. Recycle possession from Scott Riddell. This is Roddy Grant. Now has young Mark Bennett. Mark Bennett makes a lovely step. And Bennett, will he be under the post for Scotland? Yes, he is. First try for Scotland. 45 seconds on the clock, and that's the kind of start that they didn't get against New Zealand, but they have got against Barbados.
The ideal start taken there. The kickoff work was excellent. The distribution of the players are very good also here, as we see good coverage across the field. And there's the step from the try scorer, Bennett, taking on the one-on-one. It's those individual clashes you expect they're going to have way too much power, way too much speed for this Barbados side to live with. Well, to a good start here and a well-taken try by Mark Bennett. 7-0.
Well, Mark Bennett was on Scotland's recent tour. 4 test matches played across the globe, and he added a few air miles to that, and certainly was very impressive in his performances on that tour. 21-year-old, local Cumnock and Ayr Rugby Football Club member. Advantage being played by referee Rashta Rafangeni. Quick tap and go there by Colin Gregor. Scotland just a little bit punched, but punching down the middle is Richard Vernon.
Attacking into.
Disappointing penalty there for the Scottish side. An attack, a good attacking situation, side entry.
Barbados then with the pick and go. He released the ball. Sean English challenged now by Lee Jones on that far side. So Barbados recycling the possession well. So there's men over on the wide outside channel. Oh, well, if that ball had been taken, Sean Ward was in support, but this is Jay Bowen. Bowen recycled. Scotland pressing up in defence. You can see how the Scotland white shirts are trying to put the pressure on this Barbados team. And Barbados break up through the middle with Daniel Stout. And Stout decides to back himself. Colin Gregor's back with a tackle. He's made it. But excellent ball retention by Barbados is Sean English, the 26-year-old. Played for Bladen in Northumberland. Oh, a knock on there, but an advantage was being played, I think.
Number 10.
Scott White was offside.
Excellent passage of play there by Barbados. Really good ball retention. Might question some of the passing techniques on display, but the depth is allowing them to get away with it for the support player.
A big tackle came in, and there Colin Gregor picks up. And this is Roddy Grant. Now Grant, the Edinburgh Rugby flank forward, takes it up to the halfway line. Needs to offload the ball here.
Tackler,
you can see the contact here, absolutely crucial in terms of ball retention. Scott Riddell is down for Scotland, so Scotland attacking with 6 players. He comes back into the action. Here he is. Riddell having been treated. Well, the interception was there for Thomas Lucas, but he knocks the ball on. Well, when you consider that it was Canada there, that put 68 points, and it's amazing how quickly that clock goes down, and it's only 7-0, but things can open up in 7-a-side rugby so quickly.
Well, they certainly can, and it was it was a 40-point blitz that Canada put on them in the second half. I think it's the ball a little bit more greasy. We've had a couple of sweeping showers through just pre-kickoff here, and just evidence of that with a couple of handling mistakes. Chance for Scotland to go here from the free kick.
Scott White to Mark Bennett. Now Lee Jones. Lee Jones has a little show. Gets tackled on the far side. Tackle was made actually by Jay Bowen. Vernon to Grant. Now Grant had a run down the far outside. Can he get the handoff? That tackle comes in from Nicholas Jackman. Jackman for Barbados, but it's Scotland with the possession. Scott White, there's a 2-on-1 overlap here. Can Scotland make it count? This is Lee Jones. And Lee Jones, well, he scores another try. And he goes to the top of the best performers in all time with 10 tries in all competitions in the Commonwealth Games.
Well, here it is. They had the width about the play once again. The pass, Buzz may not textbook, didn't go to hand, bounces along the ground, but it was enough to bring the defence out of the line. Can open up the holes there, and Lee Jones goes in for the try. 12-0 up with conversion to come. Well, the points will slowly tick over. But they've got to have a lot more urgency about them. I want to see Scotland sprinting back here to halfway to get the game back on. I think that's what the coach is calling for as well here. Here we see good control by Jones with the ball on the ground, good feet, good awareness. Nicely balanced run, and there's the easy finish under the posts.
Well, Lee Jones, the 25-year-old, he scored 7 tries out in Delhi. This is 3 in his home tournament.
Blue 3 touched it, you're in the offside position. Blue 3 touched it, in the offside position.
Well, nice and clear there. I don't have to repeat what referee Rasta Rashan Mengi says.
Good play.
Yeah, Jones with another double. Good sharpness there in the centre by young Mark Bennett, which created the opportunity for the second try for Lee Jones. There's the handoff.
Strong, powerful play here from Bennett there through the midfield. What I've got to like, though, forget the handoff, is that work and that ability to create the quick ball. Good work on the ground. That makes a difference for the incoming players to clear the ruck area, and the try is scored under the post by Jones. A lot more like it. They're going to go at half-time, 21 zip up. That's a pretty good comeback after a disappointing middle patch during that first half.
So half-time score, 3 converted tries for Scotland. Scotland lead 21 points to 0 over Barbados. Let's listen into the Scotland huddle.
This happen. It's not just going to happen. You face it right. We win the contact era, we lift it, we play away. And then we get a right tackle change in place. Effectively, low, tackle only, get set. I want that guy. So get back again. Okay? All right? Come on, let's go hard. Come on, guys.
Well, the atmosphere, the crowd ringing round. We can barely hear the two coaches give their half-time talks, but certainly simple instructions being given to both camps.
Well, I think the message on the Scottish camp, from what we could make out there, was one about urgency and trying to clear the ball away from the tackle area as quickly as possible. And that's what's going to make the difference between a team well established on the IRB 7 circuit and one of the real minnows on the game. If you clear that tackle area, hold your width, the game is a very easy one to play. And the problem where they lost a little bit of their shape, Scotland got very narrow in their attack. When they held their width and were able to dominate the tackle area, they looked a lot more effective. They're going to need 7 very solid minutes here of a high up-tempo physical effort from them if they want to match that Canadian score.
Just as a reminder, in this group, New Zealand have still to play Barbados. They've got 2 wins. Scotland well on their way to winning this particular tie. They then play Canada, and that will no doubt be for the qualification. And whilst we might be making a point about the amount of points that Scotland need to score in this tie, well, I suppose it would all boil down to draw, but we'd have to get our calculators out for that one. So let's not overemphasise and just enjoy the rugby action then and what Scotland can do in the second half. But can Barbados respond? Inside ball, Sean Lamont, and this is Scott White. Used to play his club rugby for Melrose, and Well, delight there for Scott White. He captained actually Glasgow Warriors in the Melrose Sevens back in April, and a good success that was as well. He's lifted the Ladies' Cup in Melrose, both for his club team, that's Melrose, and also for his professional club team, that's the Glasgow Warriors. Scott White in for the try.
Very good awareness there by Lamont. Good solid play, straight running through. Lamont, very powerful footballer, and was able to put White away unopposed. Took on once again, just took it on quickly, took the 2-on-1. Simple draw and pass. Nice finish, nice conversion. Out to 28.
So 4 tries, 4 converted tries for Scotland. The scoreline nudging along, and Colin Gregor, well, he's Scotland's all-time points scorer. He's actually 7th on the all-time player points list on the IRB 7's World Series. A real stalwart of this team, and lots of respect for the Scotland skipper.
Counter-attack is good.
Ball put back by Dario Stout, but the counter was good, but Stuart Hogg knocks the ball on.
Time off, please. Time off.
There's Stuart Hogg there.
2 and 1 what?
Well, he won't want to be reminded, but he was sent off in the Six Nations in the match against Wales. Played for the British and Irish Lions. This is his debut in the Commonwealth Games. He has played a couple of FIRA tournaments for Scotland. James Eddy is on in the front row. Gregor goes in to try and spoil the possession for Barbados. Jay Bowen went in there with a rather distinctive haircut for Barbados, but the ball was played on the deck. So the tap and go from Lamont. This is James Eddy. Well, it's route number 1 for James Eddy, the strong, abrasive flanker, but well, a poor entry from Philip Lucas. And if Barbados keep conceding penalties like that, maybe the referee would think about a yellow card. Colin Gregor then taps and goes. Little switch play here, wraparound move for Sean Lamont. And he's in for a simple try.
Well, a simple try, but well constructed. It's all about timing. These are rehearsed time and time again, where 2 players switching back to the right, 2 players into the left. The pass is made there from White, and the big man goes over there unopposed. All too easy there for Lamont. Well taken try.
Sean Lamont is actually Scotland's 2nd most capped player for Scotland. He returns to the Scotland Sevens, having played against the USA and Canada in 15s, and he's on 88 caps.
Just see here, double switch, double pump, a dummy runner running through on the front line, the ball out the back to the release player, who in this situation here is Sean Lamont, untouched. That's going to be tough when you've got 4 players of movement from Barbados to defend that.
Number 2, collapsing the ruck. Number 2, collapsing the ruck.
So Michael Phillips penalised for collapsing the ruck, and
Back.
Colin Gregor just asking that the Barbados team retire their 10 metres. Again, another little switch play here. Wider pass this time to Hogg. Hogg has a little show. Well tackled on this occasion by Nico Blunt. James Eddy.
Back out.
Scott White then to Colin Gregor. There's an overlap here. If Scotland could just shift it. James Johnson bumps the legs. Johnson shows the ball, and James Johnson, he runs low and skips in behind the post. So good try by James Johnson. He's got a real low centre of gravity, and these little legs of his, they bump away James Johnson.
There's Johnson just running in, finishing off the play. Great work off the ball there by the Scottish team on this occasion. Their ability to reload, really set the depth and width to their attacking line. And then it was about this man on screen, Johnson, really taking on that one-on-one duel once again. Just too strong and fast.
6 tries for the Scotland team. 42-0 in the lead. Still 2 minutes to go. Knock on there from Barbados. Phil Lucas.
Come back from Pass forward.
Much better second half display here, Scott, from the Scottish side. Been really impressed with their energy levels in this second half. I felt they were a little bit flat in the first half. They're really starting to look like it here and impose themselves on a team that's still trying, you must say, but very much up against it as the rain just decreases in its intensity just a touch.
Yeah, I'm just looking outside the stadium between the gaps between the family stand and the main stand here at Ibrox, and there's a little break in the cloud. You never know, it might just brighten up.
The optimism, I love it.
Oh, we had such great sunny conditions here this morning, and it really just set the tournament alight. Stuart Hogg then breaks the tackles of Barbados and skips in under the posts. Well, they're coming thick and fast. That's the 7-up for Scotland. Conversion still to come.
Well, that's the class of this player, an international 15 star that he is. Young man, really been coming had a few injury problems, finding his feet back in the game, using the 7's circuit as a bit to refine that form, and there it is. Those were the sort of actions that was exciting the rugby world, both in 15s and now in the 7's circuit in the last 12 months. Very talented footballer.
That's been very comprehensive from Scotland. It's been clinical. 49 points to 0. The score shoots up
to see here, quality of passing, the good feet, the step, 2 feet step, awareness, handoff, strength, speed, has it all.
Well, another knock on, so Scotland will have one opportunity to score one final try.
Love the urgency there, Scott, to get the scrum set so that they could get one last play. This is what it's about, and I think the coach Gemmell will be delighted this from his charges. They've really gone.
Well, let's just have a quick look at this table. Because coming up, New Zealand are going to play Barbados. New Zealand on the top. You'd expect New Zealand to beat Barbados. Scotland in second position, but Scotland and Canada will play out for that place to go through to the knockout in day 2, and that match coming up later in the afternoon. That will be match 21 local time. Set your clocks now. It will be played at 9:20 p.m. Next up, England against Uganda. The second time that we've seen both of these teams.